I think they've handled it really well. It's been very competitive, and that's a situation that will continue to be competitive. And there's so much. We've still got position battles going on, and through this week, which is a great thing. To have some competitive depth like that. So that's where we are.
Okay, let's go to Barry.
Yeah, Ted, we're year 2 with you and Brent here.
Yeah.
How is your relationship, not personal, but the professional relationship evolved? Is it different now than it was this time last year?
Year 2, we know each other better, and I have the utmost respect for him as a man, as a head coach, as a leader, as a guy that's been the gold standard in defensive coordinators in college football. So it's a learning opportunity for me, and the relationship is fantastic, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Far left, Garrett.
Hi, Ted.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. You?
I'm great, thanks.
Wonderful.
All right. I take it you're going to tell me it's all about now, but I'll take a shot anyway.
You're probably right, but go ahead.
I know. I got to try.
Sure.
You've stopped at a few places in the SEC, right?
Yeah.
In the past, and I know that you want your line of scrimmage you want you guys an assertion at the line of scrimmage this year. I get that, but considering what's ahead, the challenge that's coming your way in this program, and considering your experience in that conference, are you looking to lay something foundational at the line of scrimmage in particular to meet that challenge?
I'm going to go back to your original statement where you said it's all about the now and this year, and you were absolutely correct. But certainly building a foundation moving forward and wanting to get better and better each and every year, each and every week, each and every day, that's part of the process. And so, we are focused on the right now. That would be a fatal mistake. And so nobody in our building, Coach Venables has made it very clear, and that doesn't happen in our building.
Hope you don't blame me for asking.
No, you got a job to do. I get it. Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for the answer.
Yeah, man.
Okay, Jesse.
Ted, you mentioned you've got some position groups still going through some battles. I wanted to ask you about the defensive line. Just it seems like there's a lot of guys there vying for spots. How have you seen that position group? Have you seen that battle, play out over the last few weeks?
Well, it's like you just said. It's very competitive. We've got some depth there, and that's those battles. They're daily battles or period battles or play-by-play battles, and we hope that will go on through the end of the year because that makes everybody better. But to have guys that we feel good about to roll in there, and like I said, it'll play itself out, and we'll see how it goes. But certainly that's a position where we have some battles still ongoing.
Eli.
Ted, last fall, the communication between you and Brent on game day came up, right, as something you were working through in the latter part of the season. Correct?
I don't remember seeing that.
Okay. Well,
But anyway.
was there
Okay.
taking stock of that in the offseason of how you guys did that, or is there anything you're doing differently or mechanically differently as you get started?
No, we're in constant communication. As things evolve, he's done this a long time and been great at it, and his input and there's certainly that, and again, I love it. I love being a part of a team, and I think we've got a great team as a staff, and I look forward to coming to work every day.
James.
Ted, you brought in depth at linebacker because you guys thought you were so thin. You brought in some really good players. Could you talk about the guys at that spot, and also Arkansas State offensively? What do they do, and what do you see out of them?
Well, you just, again, there's some ongoing competition, and we've got some guys that we've mixed and matched different combinations at times just to give guys opportunities to play with different people against different groups, and as a result of that, there's been a lot of growth. As far as Arkansas State goes, they've got 7 returning starters on offense, a transfer quarterback, transfer receiver that led Syracuse in receiving, also a great punt returner. So it's every week's a challenge. Every week's a challenge, and this is certainly no different. And we have a lot of respect for them, and know that they're going to come in here and give us their best shot, and it's up to us to give them our best shot, and that's what we're focused on.
across, Eric.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Nason and just his growth, learning a new system coming from Indiana, and also the cheetah position in general, the battle that's going on?
Yeah, you know, that position has a very long job description, you know, and you've got to be multi-talented. You can't be a one-dimensional player there, a one-dimensional linebacker to play there. And it's, again, he and Justin have pushed each other this off, certainly last spring, this off season, and now into fall camp. And as a result of that, it's made both of them better, and as a result of that, it's made us better. And again, that's a good battle, and you know, with the variety of roles that we ask those guys to do, so it's been good for us. And I'm real proud of Desan. I think that he has come in and worked his tail off and has picked things up quickly. And he's a smart football player that's got great length, and you know, it's going to be a good player.
What's it like seeing brothers? I mean, being an older brother on the team, what's that about?
You'll have to ask him that. I'm not his brother, but he and Day, you know, they love each other. They're brothers, man, and that's cool to see as a coach, as a dad. And I'm sure, you know, it's really cool for their parents to see as well. Sure.
Ryan?
Yeah, Ted, just building off of some of the questions that you've been asked about the defensive line, how comfortable are you with that group going into Saturday? And maybe compare that to how you felt after the bowl game at that position, when you obviously made it a priority to upgrade there, and specifically the way that the returners have handled that increased depth, increased competition.
Well, it's been a win-win. The new players we added were certainly good players that have going to fighting to get every rep, and the guys that were here, it's made them better. And they approached it mentally in a very good way. They welcomed it. They didn't they were very welcoming and welcomed the competition, and as a result of that, it's raised the level of everybody.
Do you wonder about that when you go through a process like that, about how those guys are going to handle it?
We got great kids here, but certainly team chemistry is a big deal. And you know, now with the transfer portal being, you know, a part of college football that's not going away anytime soon. But the cool thing about our locker room is that if guys come in and they can help make our football team better, our guys are very welcoming and appreciate that. Sure.
Jenny?
Ted, I was wondering about Reggie Pearson. He's a guy who comes in with 30-plus starts in Power 5 football. What does it mean to have a guy of that level of experience come in the secondary? And then I'm just curious sort of what you've gotten to know about him, just his personality, sort of the character, the personality he brings to the team.
Well, he's very prideful, and takes coaching really well. He wants to be coached. He's a very coachable guy, and obviously the physicality that we all know about, and him as a person, very humble. He's a married man, got married, so between that and the humbleness, he's got a level of maturity that maybe some guys may not have, but you know, he should. He's older. Yeah.
George?
Ted, you got a handful of freshmen in Josiah, Peyton, and PJ that feel like guys that can maybe step in and contribute from day one. How do you handle getting them in and getting them some real playing time, especially on Saturday?
Well, here's our philosophy on playing time, is that if you earn the right to play, you're going to play. And certainly you want to be able to play them in every situation. But, you know, that's our philosophy on them as far as if they're going to play, yeah.
Do you feel like those three are ready to play?
Yeah. As ready as we want them to be? No. But, you know, I think they've come a long way from when they first got here, and they've made tremendous strides, and all of them have a very bright future.
Far right, Ryan Chapman.
Back to the linebackers, you mentioned the ongoing battles. Has that got you guys to a point where you feel like coming into the season you've got a lot more depth you can actually roll out there on Saturdays as opposed to tasking Danny with so many snaps like last year?
Yes. %.
Is that process as far along as you want it to be?
No.
When you left the season last year?
It's never as far along as we want it to be, but it's a lot further along than it was. And you know, again, our guys have done a good job of growing and maturing and taking coaching. And you know, so much of the off season certainly is devoted to your upcoming opponents, but it's also self-scouting. What have we got to get better at? You know, what are the areas, specific areas that we have to get better as a unit, as a position group, and also as an individual player. And they've all done a nice job with that. Yeah.
Second row right, Justin.
I know you can't talk about specific names, but on the recruiting trail as of late, you guys got some really good, talented guys with Oklahoma connections. Can you talk about just the importance of retaining those in-state talent?
Well, I think that if you ask anybody, you know, any coach that coaches college football, they all want to own their own state, and it starts with that. And certainly, Coach Venable's philosophy here is that. So, I think that it's going well, and going to continue to go well and get better.
It's time for 3 more. Left side, third row, Randall.
Going back to that linebacker depth, you know, that saying that might take Danny, give him more rest. Do you think that could create a situation where maybe his stats aren't as high as they were last year, but you look at the film and his performance is better?
Well, I think that number one, you know, this is a team game, and it's about winning and doing what's best for our team to win. And certainly playing better within his reps, absolutely. But I don't think that, you know, I think if you ask Danny, you know, I don't think he's concerned with stats. The stat that he's concerned with is winning and losing. And so, to your point, you know, that just see how it plays out. You know, you never, I can't predict that. So, yeah, but again, it goes back to his number one. He wants to win, regardless of how many tackles he has.
Okay, 2 in the very back, Chris.
Yeah, Coach, back here.
Yes, sir.
What is Coach Venable's involvement in the play calling on game day? And are you the primary play caller? How much input is he giving you on like a play-to-play basis?
He has input in everything we do. He's a head coach, and he is a very strong, powerful, positive leader. So that's how it goes.
So who's primarily calling the plays defensively?
A lot of he has. I do, and then he has. If he wants to override something and call something, then he does, and that's how we roll. And you know, it's no different than a lot of places.
And last one, third from the left.
Right, Coach, you talked about it earlier, year 1 to year 2, making a big jump. What do you want to see out of your unit this Saturday?
A big jump, a really big jump. I want to see us play physical. I want to see the execution level. I want to see us play with great strain, and put on a good show, and show that we're trending in the right direction, and show our improvement. Let our people see and our own players see the value of the hard work that they've put in the off season.